The initial strides through the dimly lit corridor are always a peculiar mix of exhilaration and trepidation. The floorboards, worn and weathered, creak beneath her tentative steps, and the rhythmic tick-tock of the grandfather clock echoes through the house, infusing the air with a sense of antiquity. As she makes her way down the narrow hallway, her eyes remain glued to the walls, where her distorted reflection dances across the surfaces of battered mirrors. Thick layers of dust, silent witnesses to the passage of years, cocoon the mirrors, lending an otherworldly quality to their existence. 4 of these mirrors, arranged symmetrically on each side of the hall, share space with framed portraits of the founders and the long-gone denizens of this Victorian abode. The twisted golden frames, carefully hung upon hooks embedded by those who came before her, add an element of haunting beauty. Her journey down the hallway reveals not only the house's physical dimensions, but also its rich history. The thrill of acquiring such a property at a fraction of its market value enhances the experience, filling her with awe and gratitude for her incredible stroke of luck. At the end of the hall, an imposing grandfather clock stands as a sentinel, its steady gaze meeting hers. To the left, an unexpected sight catches her attention. A red door. The peculiar feature is not mentioned on the website, and its vibrant red hue contradicts the brown doors depicted in the pictures she perused before acquiring the property. Cautiously extending her hand to the doorknob, anticipation and uncertainty send shivers down her spine. With a swift motion, the door swings open, producing a resonant bang against the stone wall inside. A startled "ah" escapes her lips, followed by a subdued laugh at her own jumpiness. Stepping into the room, a wave of emotions washes over her. The space is defined by stone walls, adorned with a red carpet mirroring the door. A deep breath steadies her as she prepares for whatever secrets the room might hold. A cursory glance reveals a storage room, its contents veiled by large, dusty sheets. Unveiling a piano, her fingers dance across the keys, only to elicit a ghastly screech that reverberates through the room, reminiscent of a child's cry. The isolation of the house amplifies her unease. Doubts about her own sanity creep in. Allie is, after all, the sole occupant of this vast, eerie abode. Yet echoes persist, unsettling in their persistence. The room harbors a sewing mannequin, its heart hollowed out, and beside it, a peculiar mirror with a black corner. Despite being surrounded by aged items, this mirror stands out, appearing perfect and new. As she cleans the mirror, a shard unknowingly nicks her palm. Oblivious to the minor injury, she deems the mirror worthy of planning to position it in her room. Returning to the room with the red door, she turns her attention to a rocking horse adorned with a plush doll. As she leans in for a closer inspection, the door slams shut behind her, jolting her. The sudden intrusion of her mother into the room leaves her momentarily speechless. Staring into her mom's eyes, she hesitates before uttering the surreal sentence, "You're dead." My eyes snap open, and the remnants of the dream linger. Disoriented, I find myself in a bed, drenched in a cold sweat, heart pounding against my ribcage like a runaway train. Where am I? Why was my mom there? The vivid details of the dream refuse to fade, leaving me with a myriad of unanswered questions. Summoning the courage to sit up, I notice a persistent pain in my palm. A quick examination reveals a small patch of blood, a memento from the mirror in my dream. Grabbing my phone, I turn on the flashlight, shining a light over my hand. Blood. The injury is real. As the light extends, it finds the golden frame of the mirror, now more black than gold. A disconcerting alteration from my dream. I reside on the street that the alley cats shun, where leafy branches lean, veiling my hollow mailbox. In Luxembourg, a realm of priceless Renaissance architecture and nature's enigmatic treasures, winter blankets the European landscapes, adorning mountain peaks and ancient graveyards alike with a pristine layer of snow. Yet, I remain shielded behind these windows, ensnared in a world of opulent pretense. In this refined reality, I've metamorphosed into a wretched enchantress, yearning for the day when I muster the strength to escape, perhaps to the motherland of Belgium. As the darkness of the night envelops my bedroom, I engage in a peculiar dance with my sketchbook, attempting to capture the essence of the human portrait. However, I sketch a version unrecognized by others, an embodiment of my own perceived flaws. The room's atmosphere is tinged with the inky hues of nighttime, and I, armed with a chunk of black chalk, contemplate the contours of my own face. But when I glance up, a different visage peers back at me through the vanity mirror. A young girl with creamy blonde curls and viridescent eyes resembling chrysoberyl crystals. Her fair, peachy skin contrasts with my own perceived imperfections, and resentment simmers within me. In an attempt to regain control, I snarl, coercing her back into the confines of the mirror where she belongs. Focusing once more on my sketch, I etch and smudge, relishing the sight of her fear-stricken expression. As the night progresses, the room is bathed in the glow of morning, revealing the princess-like decor, milky pink wallpaper, ceramic baby dolls, and woolly white rabbits. Yet the true ruler of this kingdom is the reflection in the vanity mirror, and her fate lies in my hands. I contemplate feeding her well to stifle her cries, relishing in the thought of her demise every time my belly is filled to excess. Questions of my own nature plague my thoughts. Why do I neglect the humanity in the girl in the mirror? The ink I use to sketch seems to permeate the shared body, causing her pain and torment. Carving protective symbols to ward off malevolence, I find the itches persist, forcing me to continue my macabre ritual. Moonlight filters through the curtains as I complete the sketch, revealing a visage of decayed beauty. This, I believe, will be my liberation. I yearn to shatter the vanity mirror, step outside, and relish the freedom that awaits me. But as the drawing is finalized, the girl in the mirror morphs into a grotesque specter of decay, a testament to my inner darkness. With a grin stretching my cheeks to their limit, I marvel at the transformation. White socks adorn my legs as I step over the remnants, relishing my newfound youthful radiance. I venture into the snow-covered landscape through the Bombesch forest, but an unsettling realization sets in. I am entirely alone. The absence of living beings intensifies my solitude, and the once coveted silence becomes an unwelcome companion. I cast my gaze upon the creek, and through the clarity of the water, I see those viridescent eyes, creamy blonde curls, and fresh linen skin. From the moment of my birth to my final breath, I have been alone, and the young girl in the mirror, my only companion, is now a distant memory in the vast expanse of solitude that stretches before me. The tapestry of my childhood unfolded across two distinct realms, knowing and not knowing. In our family, this division was ubiquitous, affecting everyone from the adults down to the youngest cousins, a clear dichotomy between those privy to certain truths and those blissfully unaware. Grandma, a central figure in our family, was shrouded in an unspoken mystery that permeated every gathering. Her peculiar inclinations were the whispered undertones in every conversation, always present but never explicitly acknowledged. The not-knowing phase of my youth was not characterized by blissful ignorance. Like the adults who remained in the dark, there was an undercurrent of unease whenever we ventured into Grandma's house of mirrors, affectionately known as Gertrude Inn. Despite its public facade as a century-old bed and breakfast, the inn exuded an air of restlessness, a reflection of Grandma herself, aged, unique, and beautiful, yet harboring untold secrets. Gertrude Inn, shrouded in darkness during daylight hours to save on electricity, had earned a reputation. A single window on each floor allowed a beam of light to pierce through, illuminating the corridors where dust particles danced in a warm, lively display. My mischievous cousins turned the challenge of walking only in the sunlight into a game, fearing faceless monsters lurking in the shadows. Whispers of hauntings and ghostly sightings had attached themselves to Gertrude Inn, creating a cult following among supernatural enthusiasts who shared eerie photos online. The spectral images bore a striking resemblance to Grandma, leading to speculations that the ghosts were ancestral entities. However, what truly lent Gertrude Inn an air of horror movie ambiance was the mirrors. Crafted by my great-grandfather over the course of a century, these mirrors adorned nearly every inch of the walls. The single sun ray bouncing off the mirrors, coupled with the disorienting glow, turned the hallways into a surreal maze. As I transitioned from not knowing to knowing, my fascination with the mirrors intensified. While family members, adults and children alike, deliberately avoided their reflections, I reveled in the distorted images that mirrored my every step. Cleaning rooms became an opportunity to revel in the myriad reflections, making faces and imagining alternate versions of myself. The atmosphere in Gertrude Inn shifted after Grandpa's death, and Grandma became increasingly reclusive. One evening, sent to find her, I ventured to the third floor, where the narrow halls led to her room. The single sconce cast a dim light, bouncing off mirrors that multiplied my reflection endlessly. Entering her room, I found it meticulously arranged, and a soft humming guided me to an armoire. As I opened the door, the humming grew louder, revealing a secret room filled with ornate mirrors. Grandma, with a paintbrush in hand, welcomed me. The mirrors, I noticed, possessed a peculiar quality. One side reflected, while the other acted like a window. Intrigued but puzzled, I questioned Grandma, only to receive enigmatic responses. Years later, assigned to room cleaning during our family's turn at Gertrude Inn, I encountered the one-way mirrors again. Attempting to pry one from the wall, I discovered it was securely affixed. The chilling realization downed the two categories defining our family: those who knew and those who didn't. Grandma passed away, taking her secrets with her. Family discussions ensued about the fate of Gertrude Inn, leading to a compromise. Each family would take turns managing the inn until a willing successor emerged. During our season, I claimed Grandma's room, and my curiosity led me back to the secret room. One night, I stumbled upon a shocking revelation. The mirrors allowed voyeuristic glimpses into guests' rooms. The implications of this clandestine surveillance left me in silent horror. As I confronted my parents, blissfully unaware in their not-knowing phase, I decided to inherit Grandma's secrets, ensuring Gertrude Inn's peculiar heartbeat continued. I became the keeper of its mysteries, weaving my own into the tapestry of our family legacy. In Gertrude Inn's breathing presence, I found solace and purpose, vowing to safeguard its secrets and, perhaps, craft a few of my own.